Alrighty. Well, hi, nerds. Welcome to Nerds with Dice. We're here raising money for the Trans Justice Funding Project. We've got links where you can find more information and learn about that in our chat room. We also have a donation link there. Again, we are raising money for this. This is a charity stream. Glad to have you here. Very excited to get into things. But before we can get into all of our fun stuff that we've got going on, we need to know who's at our table. First off, I'm Faye, pronouns they, them. I'm going to be your game master. I'm the one that's pulling the strings behind the curtain, but it's not about me here. We've got our heroes to introduce themselves. And why don't we begin with Ale?
Hi there. I'm Ale, pronouns she, her. I will be playing as Lexi, a super tearful magical girl. Nothing stereotype at all. Well, I'm willing to have a lot of fun here.
Alrighty. Next up, we've got Luna.
Hello, I'm Luna. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing a character, Danny, who is a gifted kid burnout, which I'm sure is familiar for a lot of nerds. And she's just going along with the flow, honestly. I'm here to have fun and see what Faye has in store for us.
Amazing. Why don't we walk down the lane over to Sarah?
Hello, I am Sarah. My pronouns are she, her, and I will be playing Kara today. She is a dark-hearted but warm-hearted goth who will be grumpily warming your hearts.
Amazing. All right. Next for our introductions, we have Zoop.
Oh, hi, I'm Zoop. My pronouns are she, her, and I'll be playing Shakti, whose pronouns are also she, her. She is a sort of athlete and someone who likes to help other people, turned into a counselor.
All right. And last but not least, why don't we get an introduction for Tensei?
Hello. I am and will probably continue to be Tensei throughout the duration of this stream. I am a card-carrying member of the Heath Empire, and today I will be playing Travis. I couldn't think of a last name.
That's a really long last name.
Yeah. Who is right on the cusp of becoming the same gifted kid burnout as Danny is. He's still in the has a complex about being useful to everyone at all times stage.
Alrighty.
By the way, I couldn't think of a last name in Hindi is actually means beautiful, so perfect last name.
Beautiful. Well then,
I 100% believe that.
I just want to say before we start, thank you to Tensei as well. Not only are you a player at this table, you are going to be our producer. So if anything goes wrong, I won't be blaming you. But no pressure.
Oh no, it's fine. I'll be blaming me. I have the same complex as Travis.
All right. Well, now that we know who's at our table, let's bring it into our story, where we begin in Stratton. A city like most any other. You've been to one, you've been to them all. Though Stratton is a little different. You see, Stratton is home to heroes and villains. And for our heroes, you've found home at one point in Brerarek Gardens, the historic district. Once upon a time, you've made plenty of travels and trips to a particular abandoned building where an old telephone switchboard has sat, though different to any that you've seen in museums or on any sort of screen and document. This one with its wires not connecting to any sort of numbered ports. No, they had gems. Some of them were broken. Some had no gems at all. But each of you found yourself called to a wire, and in curiosity, you interacted with this switchboard. And you were forever changed. Eventually, in your high school years, you found each other, and you became a team of heroes. But high school is over. It has been for a few years. And for those of you that may have made your trips back to that switchboard, sometimes you'd see the same 5 gems, or sometimes some would be missing, with no answer to why or where they went. After those 5 years of each of you doing whatever it is that you have done, which we will get into, you all received an invitation. You are cordially invited to the union of Lucy Sinclair and Emerson Knight. Now, you all know Lucy. Lucy has been friends with your group for, you don't even know how long at this point. Some of you grew up with Lucy. She was quite the popular figure around any community. But she was also very scholarly. She was not just scholarly, though, athletic too. Full scholarship based in swimming. And, well, it seems that she's now found love for herself as well. So, why don't we learn a little bit about the in-between of graduation and your arrival to a garden in Brerick Gardens, as Lucy has invited you all to gather beforehand just to catch up. And we'll start with an introduction of your character with Denny.
That's me. Oh, well, Danny left school, took a gap year, travelled around, went and did her 3-year, just bachelor degree, and got to the end of it and went, I don't think I want to use that in the way that they want me to use that. And has ended up, she's just working retail. It's not great. It's not awful. It just to make money to continue all of her many niche hobbies. She does crafting. She does circus. She's a funky little weird nerd. And she's dreading the moment where somebody at this it's basically a high school reunion goes, oh, so where do you work now? Did you end up being a lawyer or a doctor? Because none of that happened, and she has zero interest in ever making it happen, actually. But alas, here we are.
Jenny.
Yes.
As you are there, sort of feeling that preliminary dread, you hear a voice call out to you. And Lexi, why don't we get an introduction of your character?
Sure. Lexi is this type of super energetic, and well, she's always doing whatever it's physical. Like, hey, I can go grab this, and I can help you with that, and so whatever doesn't involve studying, she's like, no, no, studying it's not my thing really. So since the graduation and so, she was involved in several mostly physical jobs like working at a construction site or working on a storehouse, or this kind of jobs that involve like being quite quick and managing weights and so. So, and she has been told several times, more or less like Danny said, but not in the same way. She was told like, "Hey, maybe you should have studied anything else or some or whatever." But she's like, "Hey, I'm fine with that. I'm cool. I have my friends. I have my life. I enjoy. I don't need more." So this is like how Lexi is. But returning to to the present moment, if she sees Danny, she will jump into her like, Danny.
Can I get a how tall are you, Lexi? Are
Oh,
you
I didn't thought it. I think
are you like
I
a
was
tall
thinking
girl?
about being little, like this kind of little energetic ball.
Like, lovely. I am tall and lanky, so I pick you up and twirl you around.
Like, you're trolling like a girl that it's like it's not really tall. She has her pink hair, long pink hair going around, and then she looks at you. How have you been? You look really nice. How are you?
Just getting along with life, it's day by day.
But you
It
have
seems much
always
the
been
same.
super smart. I mean, you're doing
Oh,
something super exotic, right?
I mean, yes, but no. I'm I'm doing. I've learnt some languages since school.
That's
I've
super
visited.
cool.
I've gone overseas. I've learnt lots of new hobbies. I work in a shoe store. But it pays the bills.
So, while the two of you are having this smaller reunion, able to see this scene from the other side of the garden's parking lot, Travis, let's hear
Yeah.
about your character as you are able to see the tall, lanky Danny spinning the rambunctious Lexi.
Uh, Travis has since high school been on a very sort of upward trajectory. He took a bunch of like AP classes senior year, was able to gather a bunch of college credit, started out at like 300 level STEM classes, um, and just destroyed his personal life by doing all of this work. After about a year, got hired at or got an internship at a like tech startup, um, and has in the years since then gotten into like an R&D department uh, for for the startup that now has like some local government contracts. Um, and that's kind of his whole life is working on that and sort of trying to in the past in our magical girl gender neutral times, uh he was the one who like made or enhanced a lot of the devices that we used, and that's kind of carried him through. He's always been sort of an inventor, um but I think he's a wallflower at this particular event. He's definitely watching them from afar. Red solo cup filled with something definitely not alcoholic, very slowly sipping on it, just kind of watching and going, I don't want to be involved with whatever's happening over there right now. That's far too lively.
As Travis, you are watching and having the that's far too lively moment. Shakti, you spot Travis watching something, and what would you do? How do we see your character in
Uh,
this moment?
so you see her walk up and clap a hand on Travis's shoulder. She's fairly tall, um, built a little bit like a football player, but still, still got that feminine charm thing going on. She has black hair about to her shoulders. She's wearing a dress that looks like a fiery sunset. And she went from basically being a mentor in high school to various, like, she played a lot of sports, and she would spend a lot of time with, like, while she's on the varsity, she would practice with the JV kids or the thirds kids, and like help them get better. And so when she went to school, she was like, oh, I don't know what I want to do. And then she took a psychology class with a professor who talked about the joys of being a counselor, like a licensed social worker. And she thought, yeah, that's what I want to do. And so now she's everybody uh, got the week off from therapy, and she is here to see her friends. Looking good, Travis.
Hi. Yeah. Thanks. You too. Really.
It's been a long time.
It's been 5 years, I think, for all of us.
What's bringing you joy these days?
Oh, I'm working on something a little bit neat. I'm working with the city on, like, we're using new, like, precision electromagnetics to remove uh impurities from, like, water in our supply so that we can get much cleaner tap water. And,
That
like, maybe we can remove the need for filters throughout the city. Be kind of cool.
that is so cool. I love that you are contributing to community in such a thoughtful and intelligent way.
I
Awesome.
feel like you're mocking me.
I am not. There's no way. No. There's no way that Travis feels like she's mocking him.
Oh my goodness. All right, and so while this is happening as well, Kara, what are you doing in this moment as you arrive?
Kara has, well, she sort of got lucky in a way because nobody expected much of her in the first place. So she wasn't disappointing anyone when she moved out of this crappy little town that she just believed that getting out of it would make everything better, you know? Just as soon as I get out of this crappy little town, I'll be able to get into the big city and make everything work. And she got to the big city and absolutely nothing worked. But she has managed to get herself a little apartment, and she's working as a receptionist in a building downtown, and is managing to make a little money to support her acrylic painting habit, which she can't seem to drop. She is here in a flowy black gown with a gray pencil skirt, and she has brought a bag in which she has a box of wine.
It's about this point that you all hear a familiar voice. Lucy, as she calls out across, Cora, you're here! And runs over, and you would see Lucy is fairly tall, just under 6 foot, 5'11", fairly muscular. Again, swimmer's build. She is wearing a sundress filled with florals and her strawberry blonde hair pulled back with a bow. And as soon as she runs up to you, Kara, and notices the rest, Danny, Lexi, Shakti, Travis, oh, come in. And she starts pulling everyone over and big group hug. Oh, it's so good to see you guys again.
Yeah, it's
Lucy,
great.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, we're so happy. We're
Who
so
is
happy
the
to be
lucky
here.
person? You have to
Yes, we
introduce us.
haven't met your
Yeah,
man,
please.
Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Where is M? M is just great. So, I met them through work. I don't know if any of you are following me on social media, but I've become a historic preservation commissioner for Stretton, and I made sure to keep that one building you guys really liked completely covered. No, nothing's happening to it. But M is a banker that we were working together for all the funding purposes to make sure that things that got foreclosed didn't get, entirely caught up with that. And they're just the sweetest. And it's at this point that, as it's kind of been a walk and talk, you come in front of who must be Emerson from the invitation you received. You see a very what's the word? Architecturally dressed figure. M is wearing all sorts of like angles in sleek fabric. They're in a pantsuit. This deep tan skin with olive undertones, just enhanced by the rich, dark purple, almost black, asymmetrical bob of their hair. And very much shorter than Lucy. M stands at a respectable 5'3", and is wearing heels to help sort of account for that fact. But as soon as they see you approach with Lucy, there is a bright smile. You can see the love in their eyes as they look at Lucy, and then, of course, to you. You must be Lucy's friends.
Yeah, hi, you must be Emerson. It's good to meet you. I've seen some of Lucy's posts, but excited to get to know you a little bit. It's got to make sure you're good enough for our girl.
Well, hopefully that through all the preliminary wedding events, as Lucy likes to put them, we'll be able to know each other a little bit better. I've heard all the stories, but I don't think that really is quite comparable to, meeting you all face to face.
Yeah, but well, the important thing is that you're getting married. That's super lovely.
It's so great. We've had so much fun doing all this sort of like cake testing and tastings. Oh man, but like the flowers, oh my goodness, the flowers were so good. Of course, there was an issue. I don't know. I know that you guys are really involved with like a lot of the more destructive things that went on in high school. I don't. And like as she says this, she gives a wink. And there's been some things like when we went to go get our flowers done, there was this cold front, but only around the flower shop. Very odd.
So, I was thinking, sorry, I got a little distracted because you mentioned cakes. How many cakes are there? What are the flavors? Can I know?
So it's technically one cake. However, I've got 5 tiers, and we decided to have different flavors on all of them.
Amazing.
I will look a moment at Shakti and tell her like I definitely need to try all of them. Really.
Well, good thing that you're going to be at the wedding, right? You guys are. I know that we sent the invitations, but I just want to make sure that you guys will be there. It means a lot to me to have you guys there.
It's certainly my
Of course.
plan.
Of course, that's what we're
Yeah.
here for.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't dream of being away.
What else would bring the 5 of us back together?
Who knows, really? But I mean, yeah. Man, has it really been that long since you guys were all together? Like,
Yeah, we haven't really. Yeah, we haven't really talked to each other even since high school. We graduated and all kind of just went our separate ways.
Yeah.
Being back here.
Yeah. Missed you all.
Oh,
Yeah.
Missed you
yes, I
too. Travis, let's all give Travis a hug.
Oh God, please no.
Yes, let's do it.
It's there's a scene of Travis with both Shakti and Lexi both hugging him on
Arms
like
are
either
the
side.
down
anime
the side.
flashback.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Travis just sweat drops.
Kara and Danny are just watching.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. You would think with all their emotional intelligence that they would get the signal, but they are not.
No. Never do. They
Danny-
never do.
Danny, who knows when people are not huggers, just gently pats Kara on the shoulder. Hey, hug.
Well, we still got a bit of time before our picnic here starts. So if you want to hang out at your old hideout spot, and it's probably been a while since you guys have seen that area too.
Yeah, you said you'd stop them from like tearing it down or anything.
Yeah, it was actually a joint effort between me and and sort of not. Yeah, there's a lot of things with the bank kind of getting involved in a lot of the historic areas, but Lucy was really fighting for this one to stay as it is. So yeah, I had to do what I could to help.
I'm excited to see what 5 years of mail will bring us.
Only you could be excited for 5 years of mail, Shakti.
So it's not far of a walk to move from the gathering, which again, more people are there and coming together. Lucy again, talk of the town and talker of the town. And as you walk that short distance, I'd like for everyone to give me a memory of another time that they walked towards this building. It could be one of the team together, one on your own. And we'll have a dice roll to start us off on who will give this memory, because I like rolling for dice.
I mean, I can start.
I mean, yeah, if you want to start.
So I think the first time that Shakti saw this building was she was running. She was doing a sort of morning run. It was an overcast day, and she did not bring she did not look at the weather. She did not bring an umbrella. And as she was on mile 3, the sky just opened and started pouring, and she went to the closest building that she could find, which happened to be this building.
All right.
Mhm.
Next up for our memories. why don't we learn about a memory that Travis had?
Sure. So I think this is maybe the first time that Travis ever went to this building with this switchboard. He was doing just experiment for the sake of experiment. He has with him an EVP meter. Not for ghost hunting, as you would normally use one of these for, but just to find the the like electrical patterns around town, just to kind of see how stuff moves, and as you do. That led him to this old building with an old switchboard giving off very strange signals.
I love it.
And
Next
that's where he
up,
got that.
hey, look at that. Lexi, let's hear a memory of yours.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think going with the first time getting there, it's cool. So it was one day that Lexi was had to go to begin classes at a new place, and she got lost. Basically, she got lost. She was like, she was distracted looking at a bird or something probably, and she was like, oh yeah, the place, and she was like running around, and she ended at the building, and she was like, I don't remember this from the photographs, but it's fine. And she got into the building, like saying like, hey, hello, is there anyone there? And then she came across the emerald, of course, that would lead her to so much things in her life.
Kara, let's hear about your memory.
Oh, Kara was pretty young at the time, and it was night. Once again, it was raining. We've got a theme here, and she had been arguing with her parents, mostly her father, and she had run out into the night to be alone. And she, at this time, this was before she got into this friend group. So she didn't have friends to go to. She didn't have a home to go to because she didn't feel safe there. So she found this old abandoned building, and somehow its darkness looked inviting instead of frightening to her, and so she pulled up her hoodie and squinched it around her and explored into what would become her future.
And last but not least, let's learn of Danny's memory.
All right, well, this is not the first time Danny saw this building. It's not even the first time Danny went into this building, because she likes sort of wandering around the old part of the town and poking her nose in wherever she could, looking here and there. But on this particular day, her cousins were in town. They're a bit younger than her and a very rambunctious lot. And Danny had a new book. She really just wanted to sit down and read this thing, and they wouldn't let her have peace. Even when, if she went to the library, they could find her there. If she went to the park, they'd be able to find her there. So she found her feet taking her to this old part of town. And she went, oh, well, it's usually, there's some nooks and crannies. I could tuck myself away, wearing fairly dark clothes. They might not be able to find me. We went into this building and found a room with this old switchboard that I don't think she's seen before. But, it was on this table, and it seemed like a good place to hide. So she tucked herself underneath the table and let herself be absorbed in her book. And And even when the cousins came running and stomping around in their own game of hide and seek, nobody seemed to spot her under the table there. It kept her safe from nothing very threatening at all this time. But would turn out to be a precursor of some other rather more unsafe experiences.
As you each experience this memory and you walk across the familiar, now dusty floors, you can smell the old stone, now a little older, but still familiar. And you all hear it. That sort of, not quite a ring, not quite an alarm, but between it from the old switchboard. It's easy enough for you to find it. Your feet know the way at this point, even though it has been a path that you have not trekked in so many years. And there you see it, the switchboard. And then you would notice all of your gems are present. And each line that they are connected to is the one that is setting off. As if an old friend welcoming you back.
Exchange significant eye contact with whoever happens to be beside me.
Do you really think? Oh my god!
All that dust, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really think after all this time again?
I mean,
I sort of assumed that we would grow out of it.
yeah, like surely the mantle has passed on. We can't be the only ones.
Yeah, but I mean, you're looking at that. It's glowing there.
Doesn't look like anybody's touched them since we put them back. So
Should we? Do you think we should?
I definitely
get
think
them?
we should
Of
not,
course, yeah.
but let's do it anyway.
What do you mean? Of course not. We came here as we were invited again here. Clearly,
I mean, it is a heck of a coincidence. I guess.
yeah,
yeah, but
Danny reaches out
coincidence.
slowly.
Despite everything we have lived, this is not coincidence. This is destiny. Come on.
Danny
is it
reaches out
weird that we were
slowly.
explicitly told to come here?
Yeah, actually, that's right, but that's just a tiny flavor for destiny, you know?
Destiny needs to tell us how to get here.
Exactly.
Of course it does.
While this argument is going on, Danny touches her amethyst.
Yeah. As you're able to, the amethyst responds to you almost jumping into your hand like this familiar friend. And it's strange. There's a sort of warmth to it. You know that your connection has never truly disappeared, but now holding the stone in your hand, it's perhaps closer than it has been since the last time you transformed. And while your transformation does not come into effect just quite yet, you know that should you call, it will answer.
Guys, I think it's missed us.
Oh, really?
I mean, I missed you too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but you're not.
And I think Lexi will grab hers, like saying, looking at them at the stone, like really intensely, like I miss you too.
I think Travis just like takes his and kind of looks at it. Are they capable of missing us? I mean, weirder things have happened, I guess.
Shakti
Travis,
sort of
sometimes you have to overthink everything and just embrace the feeling.
Because you don't want Travis and I to devolve into a semantic conversation about the specifics of sapience.
Yeah.
It's happened before.
It has derailed the entire plan.
Shakti sort of palms hers and is like, well, I mean, you could also debate the existence of magic, but here we are.
Yeah, right. That one's hard to argue with.
Yeah, it's not really debatable anymore.
Yeah.
You know what this means? It means there's going to be trouble.
Something's going on. Lucy did say something about that the flower shop.
I thought she was just referring to the refrigerators that they keep the flowers in to keep them fresh.
You know, with Lucy, it could have been that, but we should probably still check.
There's clearly something going on, and it's the only lead we have.
By the way, do you guys think I could pull off M's haircut?
I mean, maybe.
Honest opinions.
I'm terrible at picturing hair on things. You need Lexi or someone for that.
I can see it.
She will be able to see, yes, sure.
I love the color though. Do you think I could pull off that color?
What if we all showed up at the wedding with M's haircut?
Oh yeah, I'm in for that.
No.
Forget about going to the flower shop. We're going to the hairdresser.
Lucy would probably think it's funny. I don't think we know Emerson well enough yet to know whether they would be amused or horrified. Although if they're marrying Lucy, they should have a good sense of humor.
Oh my goodness. Forget showing up in the same dress. We're showing up in the same hair.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, as each of you reunite with a trinket long held, and perhaps maybe starting to fade into memory. As you think about coincidences and magic, whether things like destiny really do bring people together once more. I think I do want to roll out of you guys here. I think I would like for you guys to be vigilant.
Oh dear, we're in a dangerous situation.
You might be, but you're starting to perhaps feel
like we may be.
6.
9.
ooh,
8.
I also got an 8.
I don't know how Lexi got a 10, okay?
It happened.
It will not repeat.
all right. So, as you each sort of are tuned in to the fact that you are now holding the key to your transformations once more. Lexi gets to hold 3. And Travis, Kara, Danny, you each will hold one. Unfortunately, Shakti, you do not get to hold any in this scene.
Shakti is too busy thinking about the fact, wondering if she's ever
Shut
tried tasting the sunstone.
Thought you were still thinking about M's haircut, honestly.
So, instead of asking these questions immediately for your holds, you will be able to ask them at any point in our ongoing scene. As you all hear the sound of screams.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no. What are our...
Time to run. Time to run.
Yeah. I think it's like
Let's
an
go back.
immediate reflex that kicks back in of just like
Yeah.
turn bolt.
Yeah.
Actually, when the screams are, Lexi auto thing is like running there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
As the heroic reflexes now spring into action once more, you run in the direction of these screams, and they are screams you have heard before, terrified civilians. And you are brought back to the garden where a picnic before a wedding was supposed to happen, as people are trying to find cover in the open grounds here. There's chaos, people running everywhere. What, heroes, would you like to do here?
I don't remember exactly if the moves were told by you or we are suggesting them.
More often than not, you will tell me what you are wanting to do in a scene, and I will suggest to you a move
Okay.
that fits with that. Or, of course, if you've got one that you think will work, you can present it forward as well. But do recall that you have holds from your Be Vigilant, so you can always use those holds for asking questions about this scenario.
Okay. So because I think that Lexi is not thinking about anything, she jumps into the screens,
Uh-huh.
and probably I will ask one of the questions of the Be Vigilant that
Mm-hmm.
probably would be well, there is this question that are there any dangers that I haven't noticed, but I don't know if we can like try to. She wants to try to find the focus of the danger,
Yeah.
basically.
As you and you would all see as Lexi rushes into the center of the chaos here, in a manner that you've seen many times before. As Lexi, you are looking through the different people and seeing every person sort of flash by in almost freeze frames for a moment as you try and pick apart what dangers could be here. You start to see things that are not quite humanoid, sort of ambiguous shapes trying to take that sort of presence, but it's different. You see something made of ice, something cloud-like. There is a energy that starts to fill the air that you don't quite see, but you can feel this sort of static.
Danny, because they're in a park, right? Like a picnic in a park.
Yeah, very similar.
Danny finds a good tree and climbs up it for vantage.
For sure.
And he's a distance fighter. And I think what I'm wanting to do is glimpse the truth because I'm attempting to investigate this situation.
Okay.
Which means I need to roll.
Yeah, roll a mental.
Oh, I only got a 6.
So, unfortunately, a 6 is a failure. As you are moving up and trying to look about this situation, you can see that where Lexi is standing here, you can see more of the figures. You don't quite know what they are, but they're starting to move in and surround Lexi.
Okay. Kara is going to use her hold to ask, what is my best way to protect the area or victims here?
There is a part of you, Kara, that knows the answer.
Oh boy.
It's a transformation. This is an attack that cannot be handled by just your own wits as you're starting to see the pieces come together. If you can get in and maybe get the eyes on you, that would be the best way to protect the victims, because it seems that they are drawn to certain figures in the crowd. Figures that might be a little more flashy, a little bit more noticeable.
Well then, sounds like it's time for a dramatic transformation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It
You're
does.
like, cut it now.
It does mean that Sarah gets to describe the transformation first.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. What is the transformation looking like here?
All right. So Kara reaches up to her piece of onyx, which she has put onto a lanyard and has around her neck, and grabs a hold of it and squeezes this teardrop shaped piece of mineral, and a a single tear drops from her eye as and we focus in on that and into the glint of reflection on that tear, and then smash cut back out as light flows from it and surrounds her, wrapping her up in a cocoon of light, which then changes into pure blackness and wraps around her into a form-fitting black bodysuit with an absolutely unnecessary skirt. Um, her hair goes up into pigtails, but it turns completely black. And she has a little domino mask on, of course, to hide her identity.
As soon as you reveal yourself as Onyx now, taking on this familiar costume, though it is still you underneath it. Those creatures, you can see them now, not just up close, but you can see further ones that now have looked in your direction as well.
This is going to be fun.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say, Danny, seeing this happen, takes her own amethyst, which she has tucked into the inside pocket of her jacket, takes it out and holds it in her hand, and our mental camera zooms in to her eyes, and then they sort of glint, and then everything turns purple and swirls around, and we zoom back out, and the purple swirl turns into ribbons that come around and encapsulate Danny, and then transforms into basically a leotard, like an ice skater might wear. So it's got it's got sleeves and it's bedazzled and it's got a little skirt. Entirely unnecessary ribbons winding, up the calves from surprisingly dainty looking boots, which are obviously totally practical. What do you mean? The most
Yeah,
practical thing
100%.
ever. I climb trees great in these. Her hair has transformed into a crown braid of bright, no, bright's the wrong word, deep, like that really like violet purple. Like it's that really bold color. Oh, and her glasses have disappeared. It's a reverse Clark Kent.
Beautiful. Who is she?
Dun, dun, dun. Amethyst. Whoa. Where did you
All
come
right.
from?
So, we have seen 2 transformations, and the rest of the team, you would notice these as well. These are pretty flashy transformations.
I can go if you want. Like Lexi will see all that. She will see her her lovely friends just transform, and she is like, well, definitely let's go for it. So she will grab her emerald, and she will place it just here in her chest, and she will like say like, okay, old friend, please grant me your strength once more time. And then like a small spiral of wind, like a tornado, a small tornado in her feet goes up, and then everything is floating around her. But then when the tornado finishes, we can see Lexi with a very, very flashy dress that is white and green. Uh, Also, she's quite different because you will notice something that is like very, very Lexi-like. That is, she was always like wearing ponytails, but then now she doesn't have it. Her hair is like glowing in the wind, and she is like her dress is like very flashy with a lot of ribbons, a lot of inconvenient but totally practical things. As we were mentioning, some green tall boots that she's wearing also, and probably when she finishes her transformation, a green tiara will appear in her head, and she will look at the group of villains, and if you allow me, I would like to bring along with the transformation sequence the hammer that I have. I have the joy hammer, so it appears a very big and practical hammer that is the joy hammer, and she goes like looking at the group of monsters, and she will like be like, okay, time to play.
Beautiful. Oh, I love it. All right. Do either Shakti or Travis transform at this time, or
So Shakti, while we were running, her sandal got loose in the failing of the vigilant roll. Her sandal got loose, and so she had to stop and crouch down, and she's like, oh, why are these so difficult? And so she's kind of showing up a little bit after, so I don't know if Travis wants to transform first.
No, I also had a reason that I was going to be delayed, in that I think Travis is sort of corralling everybody out of here. If this is anything like picnic areas and parks near where I live, there's definitely like a larger shelter somewhere nearby that he's trying to like corral everybody into. And it's like, hey, no, get this way, stop, not getting everybody to run different directions in a panic, but like funnel them
Yeah.
into a specific safe place.
yeah, for sure.
Well, so then Shakti shows up, and you know that scene in Community where Donald Glover's character
Just walks
Troy.
in and everything's on
And
fire.
everything's on fire. She runs up and she's like, everything's on fire. It's go time. And then she's like, oh, but where's my, oh no, oh God. And she's like patting, her dress, it has a bunch of like hidden pockets, and she's like, which one did I put it into? And she finds it and she pulls it out. It is first there is the swirl of orange light up that turns into the ribbons, comes in cocoons, and reveals. And now she is standing before you, and she's got kind of like a crop top blouse on, and it's orange, and she's got it's called the dupatta, but it's basically a strap of cloth that goes around, and then that's tucked into a skirt, a kind of colored orange front to the skirt, and like a black back of the actual skirt, and she's wearing leggings and boots, and she's holding a trishul, which is a trident, and her hair, I think, what happens to her hair? I think her hair, it's still black, but it now has orange flowing through it as well, and it lengthens and it cascades down her back, whereas it was shoulder length. It is now back, but you can tell it's the kind that's not going to get tangled in anything. It's like literally a dream.
Implausibly never gets in her eyes.
Exactly. And like two star-shaped earrings, and a bindi that comes down as well.
Love these transformations. So, as you all transform, and as Travis, you are funneling these people out, Travis, you're able to turn as people are now listening to your advice of no panicking. Please follow the, as you see, Lucy and Em are also trying to help in this endeavor as well. You turn and you'd, of course, see the rest of the team transform, but you'd also now see that the only figures remaining in this area are these sort of elemental figures. Some of them are these lobs of dirt that roll over themselves. The others are shards of ice that stick out unnaturally in the warm spring season.
Can I do you want to go first, or
No, before coming back and transforming, or like after coming back before transforming, rather.
Mm-hmm.
I want to spend that hold.
Yes.
To ask what here is most vulnerable to me.
Ooh. What is most vulnerable to you? Me? You are metal. I would say the figures that are ice would be the most vulnerable for you. They seem more brittle. There are other of these creatures that are stronger, but those ones seem to be more glass cannon-y.
Okay. Oh my god.
Oh, someone's wanting attention.
Yeah. Travis takes his gem out and kind of flicks it back at himself, and it not embeds, but it like sets itself right here on his shoulder as out from it sort of a metallic liquid sort of seeps sort of out of it and makes itself into, oh my god, what is it called? Not a pauldron, but the one that kind of goes down like that.
Wait, isn't that a pauldron?
I thought that was a pauldron.
Is it just a different kind of? Okay.
I think it's just a different style of pauldron.
Pauldron,
Okay.
yeah.
It kind of goes down into one of those and then extends out over like the whole body in this like liquid metal sort of thing, before coalescing and hardening into almost not quite skin tight armor, like metal. And it comes up over the back of the head and has like half helmet with the mask.
Heck yeah.
And on his like lower like on his back hip is a sheath with a like sort of medium-sized blade inside of it.
All
Oh, yeah.
right.
For doing masks, by the way, mine is absolutely made of ribbons.
Beautiful. So at this point, the entire team has transformed, and these creatures now, all of their attention is on you. And from the back, one of the mud, like the roiling earth, is going to spit a portion of itself across the park, and it is going for Lexi. And as it does so, it strikes against you, Lexi. But while it doesn't seem to hurt as much, you feel yourself weighed down as more of these figures start colliding in. And so as you all see this, what are your responses in this moment?
I mean, can I move after receiving this? Or I'm like stuck?
You are currently restrained from
Okay.
the mud holding you down.
Okay.
I think I might spend my Be Vigilant hold.
Okay.
And ask. And now it's posed as what seems to be the monster's weakness, singular, but we have multiple different monsters. Am I allowed to say what seems to be the monster's weaknesses?
Yes.
Excellent.
As you're looking over and you're trying to see what this weakness could be, you realize that while you have these different figures that they take on different sort of elemental presentations, they are singular. And you can see what their weakness is that while they are animated and whatnot, there seems to be a portion of their centers that sort of glows a little brighter. It seems that they have a visible weak spot. And if that you can target that, you might be able to get rid of this creature.
Question about the weapons. I mentioned a weapon, but did I need to take that or as a thing?
So you don't, so like having it taken as a sort of special thing through your magical girl archetypes and all that stuff just allows you to enhance it. You get a specialty weapon just by being a magical girl.
So when I attack with it, it's just equal to my physical score.
Right.
Okay. If no one else is doing anything, I will immediately hurl the threshold towards whichever one is closest to its like little heart thing.
Yeah. So go ahead, roll me that physical. This will be a clash.
All right, that is a 10.
10. Great. So that is a success. You are going to deal damage here. And you can add an extra effect because you got a 10. So you can take a +1 going forward for the rest of this scene. You can inflict extra harm, cause it to take more damage. You can force them to go where you want. What would you like to do?
I would like to force them to drop something they are holding, and that holding being Lexi.
So as you strike out towards one of the creatures here, you end up targeting one that seems to be coalesced of air. And as you hit on the center, you would see that the air sort of spirals out, and with it, it will pick up the dirt and mud that is holding on to Lexi, causing that release of energy.
Cool.
Nice. I shall manifest my bow and arrows because I have air arrows. And from my tree. By the way, do we know how many monsters there are, or how are they sort of indistinct and currently uncountable?
There's enough monsters for this to be interesting.
Awesome.
They will keep coming as long as the narrative
Yeah,
demands.
it's a putty patroller fight. There's between 5 and 12 at any given time. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, sounds right. Right. Well, I manifest my air arrows and shoot them towards preferably whichever one is attacking Lexi. But if that's not possible, then whoever I have the clearest aim towards their weak spot.
The answer is yes. So
go. Your job to have a map.
Go ahead, roll for me your plus physical on this.
That is a 7.
7. So as you're able to pull back on this manifested weapon, and the air coalesces into an arrow and it shoots out, you unfortunately miss the ones that are most immediate to Lexi, but it passes through them and straight into one of the farther reaching ones. And so one of the ranged ones just begins to melt and dissolve back into the ground.
Yeah. Can I also, is there an assumption that everyone else's characters have, like, know the weakness that this person has pointed out, or do we need our resident telepath, for example, to spread that news?
You can always call out, see if you can have Travis, Sapphire, link you guys up.
Yeah, well, I did just shoot one in the glowy spot, so...
Yeah, you know. I mean, if you want, like...
Sapphire, they have a weakness. Tell everyone. So, aim for the glowy bit.
As you call that out across the grounds, I don't know that they need the telepathy to let everyone know now, but...
Yes.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Hey, everybody, hit the weak spot for massive damage.
Whoa!
Alrighty. So, you guys, like, the action is starting to come up. You can see some of them melting away as they are struck. Others seem to be rising up in place of them as, again, you are now being surrounded by some of the more physical ones. These are larger than the ones in the back, more shapely to mimic humanoids. And most of these are the ones that are crafted out of air and ice.
Well, Kara is going to face off with one of those big ice guys. She'll look at it in the eye, if it has eyes, and in the facial area if it doesn't. And she just smiles, and she says, "You're made of water. Water is my domain." And she holds up her fist and clenches it and works to melt it away so that she can punch directly at its weak spot.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is going to be a clash, and I'll give you that +1 from your tears.
Excellent. All right. All right. So that is an 8.
Okay.
Oh, +1, 9.
9. Beautiful. Yeah, so as you're going forward trying to hit that, the creature, since you're right up in front of it, you watch as it goes to try and strike you as well, and you're able to hit that weak spot, but not before it's able to slash at you. You'll take how much harm does this thing do? You take 3 harm from it, as it's able to strike back, but not before you but you hit it, and you watch as it melts around your clenched fist.
Hell yeah.
Okay, then now that Lex is free, thank you, Shakti, so much. Probably, I would like to do something with one of my points that are be vigilant that I still have.
Yeah.
So there is one that it's like the one that was already used. That is what's most vulnerable to me. For me, I would like if I can like do this question, but more focused on I know more or less what my colleagues, my friends' powers and weapons are. So if maybe there is something that maybe arrows are not that good, but a big hammer is better to destroy that.
So the one thing that, as you're sort of thinking this through, that kind of causes you a bit of concern with your team is that Amethyst uses air and wind, and you have a few in melee around you that are also composed of this, and that might not be as effective.
Sure. Then I will engage with them just to dispose so she doesn't have any trouble in the future.
Yeah.
So just for the flavor, you will see that some tiny wings appear in Lexi's back, and she like jumps like yay, and starts hitting whatever she can.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right, go ahead, roll me that clash.
Let's go. Well, okay. 11.
In 11. Okay. Yeah, so you are going to be able to deal some damage here as well as some extra stuff. As you can you can take that +1 forward, or you can give it to another hero. You can take less damage. You can force them to drop something. Not that these guys really have much. What would you like to do with your
Yes,
little
loot.
extra?
Can
No
I
loot for
can I
you.
can I choose the one that it says you force them where you want, like to prevent them to approach Shakti, so she has like more opportunities to do other things?
Yeah, for sure. So as you bring your hammer through, and you're able, you have what is your total physical and or weapon damage stat?
I mean, as far as I have here, I have two physical, and the
Okay.
hammer. What it says is hand and forceful.
Okay, cool. So with that, then you do the 2 points of damage to this creature, and as you're able to recognize that glowing area, you push it away from Shakti, and you watch as this burst of air, similar to what you had seen happen next to you, expand outward, and as it pushes outward, it's actually going to push back some of the larger ice figures away from Shakti, leaving them not so close to any others magical heroes here.
I would like to run over to Lexi. Lexi, you're I have this here. You're green, so you're emerald? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's correct.
Yeah, so I will run over to Emerald, and I'm picking up my Trishul on the way. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a teamwork. We can do this together. Which I would like to do. I don't know if this is how it works.
What are you wanting to do? And we'll see.
Emerald is joy, and I am love, and I am hoping to basically do like a power blast of our joy and love together.
So that would be more in line with a team attack, which is everyone spending something together. But I do have that idea in mind, and so if you'd like to do a we can do this together and do that, you can do a supernatural intervention or something, or an I've got your back, one of those two, for a next clash roll.
Okay. So I will give I will basically back Lexi up so that on her next roll, well, we'll find out. I'm doing a physical.
Yeah.
So that is again a 10. So your target gains +1 to their next roll, and you add 1 to your power pool. So
yep.
I'm at 2 on the power pool. And Emerald is going to have a +1 on their next roll, and basically what that is that since Emerald pushed all those back, Sunstone is able to run up, grab the Trishul, and stand so that they are back to back. And also, one other thing that happens is these bangles, these orange bangles, appear all the way down her arm so that they look like those arm, what are they
bracers?
Called? Yeah, it basically looks like bracers.
Heck yeah. Sapphire, what are you doing during all of this?
Sapphire is, I think, playing crowd control at this point. He's grabbed that blade from his back and pulled it out, and it's actually, we can see that it's like segmented into 13 parts, and the handle of it has like triggers and an analog stick on it almost. And he flicks it out, and it like extends. Think of this, if you're familiar with like Soul Calibur, this is Ivy's like segmented like whip sword.
Nice.
And he like flings it out and maneuvers some of the knobs and triggers on this thing to like control the path of it as it wraps around some of the smaller ice elementals and kind of squeezes.
Heck yeah, let's see a clash on that. Let's see what happens.
This is, by the way, I took sword from the metal list, so this is hand, sharp, and restraining.
Heck yeah.
That is an 8 with the +1 forward from knowing that they're vulnerable to me is a 9.
All right, a 9. Beautiful, beautiful. You, as your sword goes through and holds, I'll say you have 3 of these smaller ice fractals held. And as you do so, you feel some of them send off bits and chips of ice towards you. You will take a total of 3 damage, 1 from each of the ones you have held.
All right.
Alrighty. So, as this is coming together and you are fighting, and it's you're able to notice something, not just their weakness, that all of you are now able to feel that sort of static energy. And it's growing more intense, almost this budding electricity in the area around you. But do with that information as you will.
Does
No
everybody else feel
problem.
that?
You have moves if you'd like to investigate that.
I'm quite good at investigating, in fact.
But you still have a few of these elementals around. The danger is not entirely gone. What would you like to do?
Yeah, Kara, Onyx is, I mean, she's not a kid anymore. So she's ready to get back into this fight, but then she thinks maybe I should be smart. And so she's going to just stop for a moment and just take it in and try to figure out where these things are coming from.
All right, then let's get a glimpse the truth on that.
Glimpse the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Plus mental. Okay. Oh, nice. 11.
Okay. You can hold 3 and ask any question on the list.
Okay. So who is in control here?
As you think about it, trying to figure out who is really in control here, that static electricity, you realize that you felt it before, this sensation. It was one of the fights that was never truly finished. Sky Shatter. Your biggest nemesis.
It's Sky Shatter, everyone. They're back. I should have known we never fully defeated them.
Danny says some words that would get their anime kicked off Saturday morning.
Beautiful.
I would like to rack my mind to remember what I know about Sky Shatter.
Yeah, no role necessary for this, as Sky Shatter is again one of the few fights that have never truly gone unfinished with your team. This figure of with I had the word for it. They manipulated the weather around the entirety of Stretton, oftentimes in destructive ways. But they were, of course, still of a caliber, while challenging, that you were able to fight off. Just barely in your last standoff, though. And while they've had minions like this before conjured, it's never been quite this many, you all would recall. It seems that Sky Shatter has grown in strength.
I have one follow-up question.
Go for it.
Did Sky Shatter ever seem weirdly attached to Lucy? Like, was Sky Shatter always capturing Lucy or anything like that?
Any kind of connection there?
No, he had never captured Lucy specifically. The only times close to that would be if Lucy was in a group that got caught up in one of the machinations.
Okay, so it's not one of those situations like
He's jealous that she's getting married.
what is it, Megamind?
Yeah, it's not one of those situations, nah.
Good. And when if Sky Shatter's minions are near, does that mean Sky Shatter is near as well?
It used to, but you don't know if that's the case anymore, seeing that there are more minions than you've ever seen when you had fought with Sky Shatter before.
Mhm.
Perhaps now they can be sent at a longer distance.
Okay.
Might I also try to glimpse the truth?
You may also try to glimpse the truth.
Woohoo! Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Ooh, I got a 7, which, with my "it's all connected" trait, means that I actually hold 3.
All right, heck
So
yeah.
high.
What would you like to know, Amethyst?
I'd like to know. Let's start with what new and useful information can I gather here?
New and useful information. It's basically a confirmation of the growing power of Sky Shatter. And as you can see, the movements between the minions, they are not as coherent and coordinated as they used to be, meaning that this is a larger distance. Sky Shatter is not nearby.
Can I? Let's use one of them for what's about to happen here.
What's about to happen?
Like what do they have? What is the plan of these? Like, are they just causing chaos? Are they trying to do something specific? Do they have backup coming? Will they just?
As you're looking over the situation, trying to figure out what's about to happen here, your attention is brought off of the park and actually to the skyline of the city beyond. And you can see that in the distance there is this sort of growing cloud of dark energy, and then you realize that it's not just dark energy. That is almost like a storm cloud growing in the distance. It seems that the minions here perhaps are meant to hold up your time.
I might keep my other one for now.
Yeah.
And I draw the team's attention. Guys, I think this is a distraction. And gesture towards the menacing cloud of storminess.
Okay, Emerald, take one more hit on them and let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. So, yeah, well, if there is still some of these minions, I will try to clash them.
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
And then rush to where Amethyst said. So, okay.
So
let's go.
roll your physical.
And +1.
Okay, thank you for that,
fun.
one, because with the +1, it's a 7.
Oh no.
Plus, with yeah, so as your hammer pulls back and you're about to strike down on one of these, it is one of the remaining air figures, and it holds itself out sort of almost to push against you, and you feel the hammer strike back against you before it actually hits into the elemental. So you will take 3 points of harm as the elemental is knocked down to the ground from your hammer.
Okay.
And as you go to turn, trying to move towards that area further into the city, closer to the downtown, another lob of the earth is shot towards you from the back, but you are able to, understanding now what's going on, dodge out of the way. They unfortunately did not roll well on their attempt to attack you.
Does it seem like if we go into the city that the people at the wedding will be safe?
Yeah, as they've kind of been corralled into an actual building down here rather than just being out in the garden park, you'd be able to perhaps get there and have some reassurance that they won't be in direct harm's way.
Okay. I think as we're running, I pull out a cell phone and call the local emergency number, which obviously is going to be different for some of us, but informing them to put out a citywide alert for people to stay indoors.
Okay.
Should I convince them that I'm for real?
You know what? Yeah, I am actually going to ask for you to convince them.
Part of your convincing involves look out the window.
Well, this is also it raises an interesting question. Were we like known figures
Oh yeah,
5 years ago?
Yeah,
As, like,
you would have been
superhero-
known. Are you going to do a name drop?
No, it was just like
Yeah.
I kind of thinking about it, yes, but like it's been 5 years. If somebody calls the police and goes,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
hey,
I did luckily get an 11, so they will do what I ask.
Okay. So it's like you can hear them talking over to a partner at their table, like, this person's saying that they're sunstone. You really believe that? And all right, sure, yeah, we'll put an alert out.
Look out the window.
But after this call, it's not terribly long before you hear an alarm. And the city has different alarms. Some of them are, of course, your standard weather related. This one, is specific to supervillain threats.
Supervillain alarm.
It's the supervillain alarm. Because if you're calling in saying that you're, part of a magical girl hero team, it's usually going to be a supervillain.
By the way, Ale, you should add 1 PowerPoint to you because I aided you and you gain 1 PowerPoint.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Got it.
What sort of what kind of terrain are we renting? I just really, because I'm up a tree as we start, and I can glide.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to glide down from your tree while everyone's like, we need to go running.
I basically want to like sugar glider.
Yes.
Like to that building and then to this building over there and just stay up high with my ribbons as wings, because that's totally structurally sound.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
All right. So you have your direction of where you are heading. Any moments besides calling?
Welcome to beautiful downtown Stretton. Large storms, monsters, and
Just like old
Are you
times,
girls
man.
excited? It's like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's super pumped up.
Yep. Also, Faye, if I'm
Yes.
wanting to, because I have my divination where I can glimpse the truth to a remote location, can I use my held glimpse the truth and divine something, or do I need to do that as a separate glimpse the truth roll?
Separate, but I will let you roll that based off of a question from your held. So a separate hold to get more information specifically from there. But if you want to use this held to inform those questions you'd ask for the divination, I would let that roll. But I'll let you think on that while we take a quick bio break here. So stick around with us. We'll be right back to continue all of our action. But in the meantime, please consider reading up on our we'll have sponsors that'll come through on our to-go break. The Trans Justice Funding Project, that's another great thing I recommend you reading up on. Make sure you hydrate. If you've got meds to take them. If you'd like a snack, also a great idea. And we will be right back. Great. Huh. We're back. And we're on the move. Our hero team has moved away from what should have held their attention, but they were too smart and were able to glimpse past such paltry maneuvers. And speaking of glimpsing, we had a question before we went off of divinations.
Yes.
So.
Because as we are running, without using my Glimpse the Truth questions, presumably we know the layout of this town fairly well. Are we running in the direction of the flower shop, which was mentioned earlier? Or is it in the area, or...
Well, yes and no. There are multiple flower shops within Stretton.
Cool.
So, you are running in the direction of a flower shop.
A flower shop, but we don't know if it's the one that Lucy visited.
Which one does weddings really
All
well?
of them.
It's their flower shops. They're flower shops. If they don't do weddings, they probably go out of business. Trying to figure out whether one of my held Glimpse the Truth questions that I already have will, like, you know, the what's the most useful thing to ask,
Right.
or something, would then give me the information to divine the flower shop in question, or if I should just hold on to that until we get there.
I mean, if you could use it now and have an idea of what's waiting for you at the flower shop. Or you go to the flower shop and based on what's waiting for you there, use that information to lead into the other. You've got options here.
I do have options. I think we seem to be well on our way. So I think for now, I shall continue gliding on my ribbons.
I love it.
from building to tree to lamppost.
Beautiful, beautiful.
We're just walking, and every once in a while behind us.
Hey guys, hurry up!
Come on, guys.
I need to glide to my next area.
Whoop, there was a bit of an eddy there, landed a bit lower, and me just scrambling up.
I would say let's use public transportation, but that would be very irresponsible after asking everyone to take shelter.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've still got the alarm every so often.
I've got a question, GM. This is maybe me
Yes.
leading things a little bit. There wouldn't happen to be exactly 5 flower shops in town, would there? That we could split up and I'll go check out one.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the intersection of where all the flower shops lead.
You're a
This direct
pentacle.
center.
I was totally thinking of
There
a
are 5
pentagram
distinct
made of
fronts
flower
pointing
shops.
towards a single source.
Yes, I wish I thought of that.
Originally, no, but now part of me wants to say yes. Just for you guys to split up.
Don't split the party.
Don't split the party. No, there's more than 5. Not much, but it would be very much of a goose chase to try and figure out which flower shop to split off. Now, of course, you could, with your telepathy, have multiple channels of like you hit here, we'll hit here, and everything like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Too many to make that practical yet. I vote we keep running towards where the ominous cloud is, because there is definitely at least one flower shop there. And if that doesn't pan out, we split up and try and track down the truth.
You can always glimpse the truth.
I'm kind of hoping I get a 6 or lower.
You're gonna find out if
No, I got an 8.
6 or lower, there is no flower shop.
Because 6 or lower, you uncover a dark truth about yourself,
Yeah.
the situation, or another character.
The
But-
flower shop's all alive now. With an 8, you get to hold 1. What question would you like to
What
redeem?
new and useful information can I gather as we're running?
Not quite new, but definitely useful. As you're looking around and you're thinking about like flower shops and whatnot, where you're heading towards, where this dark cloud is not a flower shop. It is Waterhen Heights.
The tallest building in town.
One of them. But it is it's not the actual filming studio, but it is the sort of business HQ of the local news TV studio.
Mm. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
We will just make our own background music, Tensei. It's fine.
Yeah.
Can I use my phone to check in on what's going on the local news?
Yeah, for sure. As you pull up your phone, it's quite easy to get to the local news, and there are all sorts of coverages of the supervillain alarm going off, and there's it seems to the journalists some sort of hunt going on for the return of the of your superhero team, and you actually see that there are some candid pictures that come in that have been tagged on social media, and that's mainly what's going on the news right now.
It's so rude because Lucy definitely said no pictures at her wedding. Only the event photographer can take
Yeah,
pictures.
we're still in pre-wedding.
Yeah, it's still pre-wedding.
We gotta
You
get
have
this
to
cleared
save
up.
the wedding first.
In time.
But have you seen the angle that they got me at? Oh, it's awful.
Oh, I was gonna say it's great.
Uh,
You just go like being down on yourself. Look at that. You are
Onyx.
positively glowing.
Onyx has no bad angles. That's the real truth.
So we don't see the newscasters being like, oh no, we're being held hostage.
Right, no, because where you're heading to is more of like the logistical headquarters and not the actual filming studio.
Oh, okay,
Like
okay, gotcha.
Admin,
Yeah.
admin production, sort of
Mm-hmm.
the accountants and that.
Yeah. It's all the backs like behind the screen people. They're your hostages. Unless.
I have a question regarding the building that we are going. It's quite a tall building, right? You
Correct.
mentioned.
Yes.
Okay, because all this what we are seeing, it's like we are seeing like it if it was a fog covering it, or we are seeing like the darkness and this getting out of a part of the building.
So
Is it, like,
as you're
emanating
getting
from the building or surrounding it.
as you're
Okay.
getting closer, it's getting clearer, and you all now can see what Amethyst had first spotted in the distance. It is like the clouds of a hurricane or a cyclone. They are dark, they are looming, and they are stretching further and further out over the city. And as you are now starting to get closer, you can hear the cracks of the thunder rumbling. You can see the flashes of the lightning, and the rain is starting to pour down as you hear the howling winds around you.
Mhm.
what's about to happen?
Would you like to redeem that?
Yeah, I've got two. I've got 2 hold left for my glimpse of truth.
What's about to happen here?
It's going to be as
And
we're still
this-
running or like as we're arriving at the building.
I'd say in this sort of similar area. Right now, nothing out of the ordinary is what Onyx is picking up on. You're going to get rained on. There's going to be some thunder. Very unlikely, but there's still the chance that you get struck by lightning.
Hair magically still look beautiful.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is not affecting anyone's, sort of look at all unless they want it to, for dramatic purposes. But you can feel that beneath all of that, there is this sort of, it's the tension that before the storm really breaks, that sort of long drawn out. You know that once you reach that building, you're going to be face to face with Sky Shatter.
Okay. I would also try to spend, I think it's on my last Babylon point. And I would like to ask, now that we're closer and we have like fully understanding on what's going on, the best way to get in, like if there is a spot that it's less likely to get struck by one of these, or
Can I climb the outside? I mean, what?
Well, the question was, what's the best way to get in, not the what's the cool way to get in.
It's a much better.
The thing is learning the best way, and then we make it cool. So
yeah,
find best.
The best way in the definition of easiest terms probably going to be the front doors.
Most likely to succeed.
Yeah. Now, of course, if you want to, try and Spider-Man it, you could try and climb the outside. But again, this is a building. There's not really like the nice little handhelds for like rock climbing walls.
For someone who's acrobatic, it is definitely
Does it have
doable.
windowsills? I've got ribbons. It's all right, I'll go in with everybody else.
Amethyst is like the last one looking up, and it's like, I could have climbed you.
So do we all, when we go in, I'm guessing we're going to the top of the building, do we have that awkward scene in the elevator where we're all like, where there's elevator music playing and we're all like,
oh, well, I wasn't planning on it before, but now, obviously.
Yeah.
Where like it's taking a while, it's like, so what's your joy, everybody?
We're all way too cramped because we're in these like obnoxious large.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Somebody's awkwardly ducking under Lexi's hammer.
Yeah.
Actually, I hope
cutting
that
between,
when you are in the elevator, at one moment you are like, "Where's Lexi?" And you look outside, and she's flying with her wings, like, "Hey there."
It's the clear elevators that are like you see in like convention hotels, but it's
exactly.
Everyone's looking around, and it's like, shouldn't it be more cramped? Where's Lexi? And then it's like Lexi's just like beside you.
It keeps cutting between like us like standing in the elevator and like outside in the storm raging down, and then us sitting in the elevator, and then some element monsters, and then us.
100%.
Amazing.
Girl from Ipanema playing in the background.
Oh, 100% now. So,
Totally.
as you reach the top, it doesn't stop at just the top floor. Obviously, we're in this cool magical girl shenanigans. You got to go up to the roof, where Lexi you already are, as you can fly, and you just land down. And as you all reconvene once more, you can see that the top of this building has sort of been reconfigured into a labyrinth of sorts. There is walls and junctures and guards, more of those elemental figures. These ones all ice, but you can see the crackle of lightning that moves between them as they sort of stand atop and look over the roof. And at the sort of far end, what seems to be the center, the eye of this storm, gathering everything, a massive satellite that has been, it seems, reconfigured.
A satellite?
A satellite.
Okay.
Satellite has been.
We got old tech here. We can get even more old tech.
So, the guard closest to the door,
Mhm.
can I convince them to lead us to the satellite?
If the guard was human, yes. Unfortunately, these are more of those ice elementals, so they don't really have.
Does any of us have ice powers? Ice
No.
powers?
Water power.
Water. Can water speak to them?
I don't
Maybe.
think they necessarily have minds. I think they're sort of just constructs.
Oh,
Good thought. It was a good thought, Shakti.
Can we?
No. Let's do it. Let's freaking do it. I'm going to talk to one of them. I'm going to try
You might get
to
information.
tap into their liquid self, and get them to see the light and turn against Sky Shatter and help us.
Okay. Convince someone. You get the +1 from your tears, but I am going to say that this is at a disadvantage.
Okay, that's fair.
It's just hacking, but magical.
Magical hacking.
can I?
Yeah.
Can I? I would like to help this by letting her know that she can do this.
All right. You roll your emotional.
Okay.
That is an 8.
All right.
No, wait. 7. No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I know how to do math, apparently. Okay, 8.
All right. So that means that Onyx gets a +1, but Sunstone is now in danger.
Oh no.
He's gonna swipe me if you fail.
So
You
Okay.
open a power pool.
Well, that's a 10.
10 total. Okay. As you are able to sort of reach out, and it's not so much that you are convincing them, but you are sort of rewinding the way that the water has moved in them to lead you back. There is an aspect about that as they are starting to sort of show the path that as Shakti you are and Sunstone, overjoyed that this has worked and that your teammate has done this. Your arm sticks out and those bangles, your bracers, catch one of the arcs of lightning. And that is going to be 2 points of harm.
Okay.
Owie.
Owie. We start out with 10 hit points, don't we?
I started with 12, so I'm good.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
that's right. You've got plus physical.
And do remember that every time you are below half your HP, you get a power point in your pool. But yeah, you're able to follow the ice figure through this labyrinth, meaning that you don't have to do any sort of checks to get there because you did the one at the beginning and it was great. I love this. And there at the end, underneath the satellite dish that is calling forth and manipulating the sky, this massive sort of circuit board and control panel of different radars and buttons that you don't have any idea, but might be something interesting to someone in our party. But there is a single figure that stands there. Dark, muted blues and grays. This costuming that is akin to what one might wear in more extreme scenarios. Mountain climber heading up. Though instead of the puffier jackets that provide warmth, these are reinforced closer to the body, like armored padding. Sky Shatter.
Bow, bow, bow.
Bum, bum, bum.
Is Sky Shatter hot?
Now that we're like 23 instead of like
So,
15.
I mean, you could have had a crush on him back then. Just Mrs. Sky Shatter.
Big bubble letters.
100%. So, apparently any NPC I create is hot,
Okay.
according to my other players. I don't know how that works, but the way that I'm seeing Sky Shatter is like more covering than anything at this moment. Like the only thing that you can really see of him is his hands, and a portion of the face underneath like the goggles that he wears.
Okay, to
He
be
might be
fair,
hot.
mystery is hot.
So yes, the answer is yes.
I feel like the answer was going to be yes no matter what.
It's all up to interpretation. But after a few moments where you all sort of stand and there's thunder and lightning in the background, Sky Shatter turns and faces you. And here you are. Here we are.
Lexi, while there is this moment, she will interrupt, like getting her hammer, like pointing at him, and she will begin one of her typical discourses that she needs to do in these situations, like Skyshare, we meet again finally after all these years. We are going to face each other again, and we will defeat you for once.
For once.
Once and for all, I think is what you're going for.
I think
I said for once. I knew I wanted to say one. It doesn't matter. We will defeat you.
Sunstone looks at the others. Have we tried asking him what his joy is?
What is his joy? I'm going
I
to use my third hold for
Beautiful.
Glimpse of the Truth to ask what sort of creature is it? But really I'm asking what is his joy?
From what you know of Sky Shatter, he is human. Doesn't seem to be from anywhere else, but good old Earth. And his joy. What would his joy be? What joy would you be able to glimpse is more about it, because this was a hold on a 10. So far, the only joys that you've been able to notice, he likes the weather.
Does he seem to, like, we've had experience with him in the past, you know, we've clashed with him before. Do his plans seem to be like mayhem and destruction? Is he aiming for something specific? Like, is he trying to
That
take something
sounds
over, or
like
is
a
he something?
redeeming of a hold.
It is a redeeming of my third glimpse of truth hold.
From your previous clashes with Sky Shatter. His actions have always been for a destruction of something, but they aren't just random. It's not chaos. Sky Shatter has always been very calculating in what he does.
Well, right.
No, but it is good to see you again.
I'm sure you might think so. And if everything goes how it should, this will be the last time we see each other.
Oh, that would be really sad. Have you thought about what us not seeing each other ever again would feel for you? You might suffer some grief.
I have thought about what it could mean. I've thought about it many times over. Enough so that I have created this. And he motions to the satellite behind him. Because I know that my greatest joy would be from never seeing you again.
Oh,
I mean, we're only in town for the wedding. Like,
that's really hurtful.
I wasn't planning on staying. Were you?
Well, no, I do live here actually. You know, not seeing each other again would be nice. Actually, I'm
You
all
know,
for this plan.
I have clients that sometimes say that to me, and it's usually because we are getting closer to a breakthrough and they're afraid of it.
Would you say would you say then that Sky Shatter is in denial right now?
I think so.
Never thought that.
Yeah.
We're not
Onyx is
prepared
going
for
to get in on
special
this.
life
She's going to say, What is it you really want, Sky Shatter? What drives you to this? Surely you can't just be a maniac who wants to control the weather for no reason.
Alright. Are you trying to touch their heart there?
I sure am.
Go ahead, roll it.
Okay. Touch their heart.
Can I use a team? Can I use a PowerPoint, 2 PowerPoints to give her advantage on her roll? Or does she have to use the 2 PowerPoints?
You know, rules as written, it's your own PowerPoint, but you know what? This is a team effort. Go for it.
Can we actually then can we spend points equal to the number of heroes plus 2 additional to gain advantage on the roll?
So that's for the team attack. This is just spending 2 from any power from your power pool would just give the advantage.
So
do you want to do a team attack?
We are definitely ganging up on him.
Yeah.
But this is
I mean,
we're not attacking.
I mean, attacks do not have to be physical.
Right?
Yeah.
Can we all attack with the power of love? Is that the question?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I will say that if you are taking this course of action, Onyx will be the one that's rolling. And I'm going to have to ask for all of you to describe how you are attacking Sky Shatter with the power of love and friendship.
Can we do this one for, to like try and touch their heart, to like talk to them for, like do this one first and be like, surely you're not just a maniac, and see if we get an answer, and then proceed based on that.
Yeah, if you guys want to do it, this is a conversation that we're having here. So if we can hold that in the bag. So what was your roll for the touch their heart?
Haven't rolled it yet.
All right, let's see it.
And you said I got advantage?
We're gonna hold the advantage because we're gonna save that for
Okay.
the thing.
2 dice. All right. So
2
that
die.
is, and with my emotional, that's an 8.
An 8. So the next action against them will get a +1. As you reach out, you hear the slam of his hand on the control panel.
Mm.
I am no maniac. All of this, it's never been just for wanton destruction. No. No, it is all because of you and that damn switchboard.
He sounds like he's jealous of our friendship, and so I would like to suggest that we all go in for a hug as our team attack.
Please, I love it.
I don't think that's his motivation.
I do agree that a hug attack would also be pretty dope, though.
Yeah, that's my other thing. It's like, I don't think that's his motivation. And my instinct is to ask him what he knows about the switchboard. But a team hug attack is also, I mean, I guess our team hug attack could restrain him and then we could interrogate him what he knows about the switchboard.
What do you
Well,
know?
if he becomes our friend, he can tell us all about it.
It's true.
You're not wrong. I'm willing to join the team hug attack if that's what you want to do, Shakti.
Yeah, that's really good.
And I have 3 points in my power pool, so if everyone gives a point and I give 3, then that lets
Gets you
us
the advantage.
roll at
Mhm.
advantage, and we get a +1. So it's
Yep.
a +3 at advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hug
I'm willing to.
attack!
Hug attack.
Yes! That is a 13!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Oh, look at that.
You go there.
So, I just have to visualize how.
You go to
That
listen
that
to
is the
As-
best look on a GM's face, honestly.
I love it when I have this face. As Sunstone looks to the rest of you and it's like, guys, I think he's jealous. Sky Shatter is like, no, I'm not jealous. Did you not just hear? And then during all this, you guys have been planning on which angles the hug attack is going to go from, so you're able to catch him like pre-monologue in this hug attack, and there's a moment where, of course, he's trying to fight back and restrain, but your group friendship sort of bleeds into him, and those struggles then become sobs as you realize that Sky Shatter is crying.
Oh no.
I want you to know that we accept you the way you are, and we're willing to hear what you have to tell us about the switchboard. It sounds really important.
Your feelings are valid, Sky Shatter, and we want to hear them.
just stroking his
You
hair.
will not be judged here. We are all for you.
We don't have to be enemies.
I didn't want to be enemies in the first place. You have to realize that my issues aren't with you. It's with the switchboard. I used to be one of you. I had a gem myself. And my team, we were... But they're gone now. And they would still be here if it wasn't for that switchboard. And then more tears and crying. Like, he's now actually, like, partaking in the hug.
Stroking his hair, and we're all kind of rocking back and forth a little bit, gently.
Travis is on the like outside, giving what basically amounts to like a one-handed shoulder pat.
It's like they're there, but like at a distance.
Yeah.
You're contributing.
Like a layer outside.
Contributing from your own comfort level.
Emotion adjacent bubble.
Yeah.
So how did the switchboard? Is it that you drifted apart?
Was it? Did it call you to fight something that you couldn't fight?
We had a nemesis, much like the role that I filled for you. And it wasn't that we couldn't fight it. There were struggles, but we overcame at a cost. It was grievous. And I'm the only one remaining of our team. And that's when you remember something about the switchboard. The gems that are on the switchboard that are broken.
Takes a cost, doesn't it? And you had to pay that cost with your friends.
I just wanted it gone. I wanted no reminders.
I I totally understand that. However, I know it must have been horrible, but and with all these feelings, maybe you can try to do something different. And probably you are not as alone as you think. You cannot be as alone as you feel. We can. I'm sure that all of us want to be with you and help you with this journey.
We can't replace your friends, but we can be new friends.
Exactly.
Do you know this? Did you investigate the switchboard? Do you know where it came from? We don't know how it could be, what it does, or how it could be removed. If it could be moved somewhere where you didn't have to be faced every day with this reminder.
It moves where it wants to go. And it is decided that Stratton is its home. But where it comes from, I do not know. But perhaps this is the first step. Letting go of these emotions that have welled inside of me. And perhaps a conversation with that machine might set things differently.
Would you let us support you for this conversation? We want to be here for you.
When the time is right, yes. I don't believe that I can do that right now. The wounds still feel very fresh.
Grief is not a linear process.
It is true, but whenever you feel that you need someone to listen to you, you have 5 people here that will be willing to do so.
Sky Shatter nods, and as he does that, he reaches up to the goggles and the cowl that he's wearing. And he reaches back and he takes them off. Travis, you see a very familiar face. As this is from your work with the government, this is a face that you see come through quite often. This is Apollo Adams, who is basically like not the tippy top dog of the local news production studio, but very high up there. Oversees a lot of things, lots of hats, manages many areas. So you are familiar with who you are seeing here.
Apollo, after... Has it been you this whole time?
It has been me this whole time, yes.
I can't believe I didn't put it together. It's a very unique accent around here.
I'm surprised, yes. I'm not native to Stretton, no. I moved here after my formative years.
From Jersey.
Not what I would call that accent.
Can't you tell?
I will release my magical girl form.
Oh my.
Oh.
Yeah, same. I think Travis kind of grabs the helmet and takes it off, and with it, the whole thing sort of dissolves away.
Yeah. Seems fair. A truth for a truth. If you are to be one of us, then you ought to know us as we know each other. And the ribbons unwind and all sort of into air.
Yeah, you're totally right. And then the dress of Lexi goes like taken with the wind.
Hopefully
Oh,
she's got
my.
another dress. Sorry.
I love how blasé, honestly,
Yeah,
transformation is. Beautiful. No notes. As the identities of the six of you are revealed, Apollo, once known as Sky Shatter, turns towards the contraption that was created here, and you can see now what he reaches for is his own gem from the switchboard that had been powering the machine. And as he removes it, you hear the whirrings stop and the ice guardians melt. The static energy diminishes and the clouds begin to dissipate. The wind no longer howls. The thunder no longer cracks. And the sun begins to shine through.
You know, we have a wedding that we're supposed to go to, and I'm sure we could squeeze in one more chair at our table.
Yeah, Lexi left room for a +1. I certainly haven't used mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should come with us.
I'll meet some new friends.
Yeah.
Perhaps it will do me good. There's the leg again. No, I know it's you. It's fine. So, as you extend this invitation to Apollo, who accepts it, you're able to first call to the non-emergency line that the emergency has been handled. And so the supervillain alarm dies down, and people you start seeing, for anyone who pulls out their phone, checking on social media, is this a reunion? Are they back in action? All now trending.
We
But-
found Spiral.
Again. For the first time in years.
Glitter hats spotted on the street.
Yeah. But you make it back to the picnic, and this sort of pre-wedding picnic being reset up. And as always, there's Lucy, who comes by and, uh, well, you guys missed it. It was absolutely hectic and crazy. Everyone was, running around. Oh, your hair is like all like wind blown. That's nice.
Yeah, we were like checking out some of the old haunts, and then we heard that supervillain alarm, and we just just bunkered down where we were.
Yeah, just like old times. And another wink.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like a very obvious one too.
Yeah.
By the way, Lucy, look, I know you've kind of got your tables and everything, your seating plan sorted. I know you're very organized like that, but would we be able to fit another chair at our table? I know you seated us together. We've
I mean, like, as much as I'm like, sort of organized on paper, in action, you're more than welcome to just sort of do whatever you want.
cool. Made a new friend, and I think they could really use your energy.
And as you mention this, Lucy looks at, oh, Apollo, we've never really talked outside of any sort of work functions, but if you had wanted an invitation, I could have hooked you up. But it seems that you're in good company. So, you saved the day again.
That's what we do.
It's what you do. And you did it through the power of friendship.
The power of what? The power of therapy.
Yay!
And the power of therapy. Yeah. But the wedding's saved. You're able to see both Em and Lucy in their dresses in the coming days. Lucy in this very floofy, high-low sort of dress filled with sparkles, a big bow on the back, and it shows off the sneakers that she's wearing down the aisle. And much the same as how you'd seen at the picnic, they are in this very sort of structural dress, very sleek satin, all sorts of angles, and they pull it off great.
And we've all got the same haircut.
And everyone's got the same haircut.
I think we all got like wigs that we like cut on so that we could like walk in with them and be like ta-da, and then pull them off and be like no joking.
Lucy had a blast with that. Absolutely enjoyed it. Cracked a smile. But as our story is coming to its end, we've got some table outros to do, and then pass the baton on our streamathon. So I've got a note of what we are going to be going through. So just, again, who you are and perhaps where people can find you if they're interested. And we'll begin this with LA.
Okay, so just for this regarding to us, right? Not the character.
Yes, this is you. I mean, if you want to give a little epilogue of your character, go for it.
No. I was just, I just wanted
the
to point.
Continues. You have to help Apollo dismantle the switchboard.
I just wanted to just like do a little thing regarding to the game, and then I proceed with that. That is, Lexi will go to Shakti and said, "Hey, we should work more together."
You guys do great.
Next one shot, they've got a business card.
Yeah. So, well, about me. Well, you can find me mainly in Blue Sky. I'm there. I think the ad is over there. And if you go there, you will see that my presentation on that is Spanish, but I speak English. So if you want like to write me a message or whatever, I'm in for it. I have like a link there. There is a YouTube channel that I have some games updated in Spanish for now. but I want to have one in English soon, so I can have like some variety, and I think that's it.
All right. Next up, why don't we get a sign out from Luna?
Yeah. I mean, I exist basically everywhere on the internet as Lunakyria. It's Lunakyria, except for on Twitch, where I'm Lunakyria with 2 A's at the end because my usual handle was taken. Very rude. Not that I really do things on the internet. I mean, if you find me on Instagram, I probably won't accept your friend request. But if you do, you get to see me doing weird circus shit. Hanging upside down off hoops and putting my feet on my head. All sorts of fun shenanigans. But I don't know. I'm not an internet persona. I just followed Faye.
I dragged you over here. It's fine.
Into the fairy ring, and now I'm trapped here.
No one's getting out.
But I had a good time. I didn't eat the food. It's fine.
Next time.
Brought my own snacks to the fairy ring.
Sarah, where can people find you?
Yeah, I do actual plays over at Streaming Rainbow. You can find out more about us at thestreamingrainbow.com. And I'm also on Blue Sky, Windhover with a Y instead of an I. And I look forward to getting to know more of you.
All right. Zoop, let's hear about you.
Okay, hi, I'm Zoop. You can find me on the web at Zoop Machine. My mother calls me Supriya. I do a lot of AP stuff, not as a job, as my hobby. And you can check out my card. It's Zoop Machine, ZOUP machine.card.co to see where I'm going to be next and any recordings that I've been in. If you enjoy what I bring to the table, I'm always excited to play new games with people. And I am also new co-GM on the podcast Game Master Monday. I suggest checking that out, not just for me, but Grant is a phenomenal DM.
All right. And before letting him give an outro for himself, can we get a round of applause for our amazing producer?
Yay! Tensei!
Thank you.
All right. Stage is yours.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tensei. You can find me primarily just on Blue Sky at Tensei TENSEI.bardrockcafe.com, where I repost the occasional TTRPG take, but mostly it's art of cute anime boys.
We love that.
You can also find me behind the scenes of pretty much every show on the Bard Rock Cafe network of shows. I'm not on screen or in front of a mic much. I do a lot of the back end production sound design. So check our stuff out. Some of it's fun. There's got to be something for you.
100%. All right, and I guess that leaves me at the end. As I said, I'm Faye. You can find me practically everywhere as Feywild Witchling. And I had a ton of fun here. I'm glad that I had the table that I did. You guys made this more than I thought it would be, in the best way possible. But that is unfortunately all of that we have to share for you. But that is not all that is left in our streamathon here. Again, we are raising money for the Trans Justice Funding Project here with Nerds with Dice. We've got another great show coming up for you guys. That'll be the Bloody Butcher, a slash one shot. So stick around, have some fun. Please check out our sponsors as well as our charity that we're raising money for. It's all really cool.
And donate if we made you laugh. Even
Oh
more.
yeah, donate if you laughed, if
$1
you
per
cried, if
Yeah,
you know
$1
we
per
made
laugh.
you curious about whether we were sane or not.
Every
Yeah.
time
You
you
believe
had
in
an
the power
emote,
of
donate
love?
$1.
Yeah, if you had
Every
any
time I
sort of
fidgeted.
reaction,
$1 for every time I fidgeted. It will fundraise the whole thing.
if you don't
Totally.
donate, I'm gonna cry for real
Oh,
on
no.
stream.
Don't make Faye cry.
All right, but we had tons of fun. Thank you guys for being here. Please consider donations in whatever way you are capable of doing so. And that's it for us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.